Okay, we're back. Alexis here with LaJules, and now we're going to move into on how to um, do our support notes when our shift is ended. Also on how to access the Part 5 plan. So what the Part 5 plan is, it's basically a plan that is developed through a team surrounding the individual. So that is LaJules included, the individual and family, along with the community service board, which our community service board that we typically work with is Piedmont Community Services. So we all get together along with the individual and help come up with a series of goals for the individual, and helping them make progress towards these particular goals. Um, and so this is what we are going to be documenting off of with our support notes. Um, so we have to make sure when we go in and we are observing our individuals and we are supporting them, that we keep in mind that whatever we document is conducive to the Part 5 plan, and we are helping them with obtaining the goals that are designed on that Part 5 plan. So that is going to be our first step, is looking into how do we access the Part 5, because you will need this as you are creating your support notes each shift that you work with your individual. So we need to ensure that we're following the Part 5 plan. That is the DBHDS requirement. We just have to always stay mindful of that. Um, Most individuals have between 3 to 6 outcomes that we work off of with their Part 5 plan. So we have to try to hit those goals with them when we work their shifts. We have to document on each within each of those aspects, just to show what we're doing when we're going in the home to support them, to help them reach those goals, or at least make progress towards those goals while we're in the home. So we are going to move towards looking at that right now. So we'll start off with identifying how to access the Part 5 plan. Okay, so we are back on our screen that demonstrates our shows our individual and their tabs. So right here we have, right under supportive devices, we have attachments. So the attachment tab is where we have our Part 5 plan listed. So we click on that, and then we're going to be brought up to this subtitle. So the subtitles for our individuals is always going to be typically their confidential code, and then it'll say plan, Part 5 plan, and whatever year that it falls in between. So this particular test one is a test Part 5 plan 23-24. So if we click on this, is going to fetch our attachment contact. And I know this is going to be difficult to see, but when you have your own mobile device or computer, whatever you use, it'll be easier for us to see the Part 5 plan. But I just wanted to show how you would access it. So this is what a Part 5 plan would look like when you pull it up. So that way you can go over the information. You'd be able to see exactly what you need to be documenting, and what steps you need to take in order to assist your individual with making progress towards their goals. Okay, so that is how you access the Part 5 plan. Okay. So now we're going to look at how do we access the care notes section. Okay, so now that we're within the 5 minute window, we can go ahead and clock out. Okay, so we're clocking out of our shift. So now we're clocked out. Okay. Now during your shift, if you have a little bit of um, time where you can fit in writing a bit of your support note, or if you want to take the last 15 minutes to do your support notes, that's perfectly fine. Um, if you want to just start writing, because you don't necessarily have to be clocked out in order to do that. Okay. So now, in order to write our care notes, we have to make sure, a lot of people get this mixed up, because there is a care notes tab and there's a just the standard notes tab. We're always going to use the care notes tab. The notes tab is just for notes for yourself that you need to take, but the care notes is the tab that we need to use in order to ensure that our notes are going in properly. So we're going to use the care notes tab, which is right under the info tab. So we're going to click on care notes. Okay. So right now, the test individual doesn't have any care notes available. Since this is a test person, so okay, there was some technical difficulties that I figured out. Okay, so I'm going to resume. We are going to the Care Notes tab in order to access our Care Note and put in our Care Note for our individual. Okay, so remember, we go to the Care Notes tab and not the Notes tab. Okay, so I'm clicking Care Notes, and then it's going to lead me to this screen. So it's going to be my individual's confidential code, and then it's going to say support outcomes. Okay, so this is what I'm going to click on to proceed with writing my note for that shift. Okay, so when I click on this, it's going to give me the questions that I have to answer. So the first one reads, Asha engages in activities that she enjoys. Asha develops increasingly independent skills with interacting with people and animals appropriately. Asha goes out in the community and uses positive social skills. Asha increases her independent living skills at home. Okay, so that is our first outcome. In order for me to answer that, putting my note in, I'm going to have to click answer, and then a blank space will come up. So for training purposes, I will just write in this is a test. Okay, so my information is in the box, and then I will press submit. Okay, so my answer for the first outcome is in there. Okay, and it says if I want to change answer that I can. Okay, so you have to make sure that you submit each time. And I also advise people to save, unless you're going to use maybe like a Word document or a note in your phone, so you won't lose your work, because it is frustrating when you do your notes and then you put it in and you lose it, and you don't have any way to go back and put it in, and you have to start all over again. So I would advise, sometimes these apps can be a little finicky, so I would advise maybe writing it down on your phone, or typing in a note document and copying and pasting it in, so you won't have to worry about losing your work if something goes away with the app. Okay, so I advise that you do that. Okay, so then we're going to move to the next question. Okay, and we're going to answer the question. Okay, so I've answered the question. Now I'm going to hit submit. Okay, and it'll ask if I want to change answer. I don't, so I'm going to move on, and I'm going to do the last two with the same statement. And then I'm going to submit. Then I'm going to submit. Okay, so all my answers are complete. So all the boxes are saying change answer. So if I want to go back in and make changes, I can. But I don't want to make any changes, so then I'm going to press save. So now my work is saved and my note is complete. So I know my work is complete because I see that green check mark. Okay. So that is how you put in a CareNet. Okay. And I also can, if I want to go back, if it's just something I thought of that I might want to, go back and review or look at, I can go back to the Care Notes tab. My note will come back up. I click on it. I can still change my answers. And then I can change my answer, press save, and my answer will be there. Okay. Okay, so now we have reviewed how to access the Part 5 as well as how to put in um, your care note. Also, when you're doing your initial care note, once you complete it, this did not do it because I'm already in the system, but once you do it, put in your first care note, it's going to ask you, it's going to prompt you to put in your signature. So once that first note is complete, it will ask you to put in your signature. Once you have your signature recorded on file, you will not have to put it in again. It will automatically generate to all of your support notes in the future. So that will complete the tutorial for accessing the Part 5 plan as well as accessing your support